Dream. This is a it's a bit of a weird stream. This, I think the reason why I want to do it is because obviously, if you guys have checked out my latest video that I've uploaded, my latest video that went up today, I talk about the fact that I've officially gotten into uni. One of the most proudest probably the proudest moment of my entire life was waking up, getting that email in the morning confirming that I was going off to university in 2 weeks. I'm leaving 2 weeks today, and this will also be the last video I make until I've officially moved in. I think the reason why I want to kind of draw a line under it now is because my attention is now having to go off in other directions, and I've never once wanted to make YouTube a full-time, full-term thing. For 7 years I've been doing this for. It's just been a hobby. It will continue to just be a hobby. A lot of plans I did have during the pandemic I've decided to scrap. No, this doesn't mean I will be going back to DJ King 101 games. That's done. That was my, that was what I did as a kid. As a kid on YouTube, I'm obviously an adult now. Things are very different. The landscape's very different. The reason why I'm pursuing this as opposed to, let's go to morning. The reason why I'm doing these types of videos is just because I want to. I'm a very real person, which is ironic because my dream aspiration is an actor and a creator. So obviously, storytelling, it's not real. It's not, it's not real unless I'm performing the role of a real person in a biopic. That's not classed as, it's not a real, and sometimes not even the biopic is real. Like I've been watching Under the Banner of Heaven with Andrew Garfield, and yeah, the Laffertys are real people, but Detective Jeb Parry isn't real. I as a person, I consider myself quite real. I say what I think, and a lot of times people agree with me, but a few other times people are they're just really judgmental, they're really small-minded. I'll admit I was very small-minded myself. It's only been within the last few years where I've kind of opened up a bit more to new ideas. I had other universities in consideration. I decided upon Staffordshire because I feel like it's the best one for me. I did try and keep that anonymity as well by not revealing the university I was going to, but I ended up slipping up in that in the video that's just gone up today. I said it, and to be honest, I didn't bother editing it out because I don't actually like. Now, I don't want to sound lazy as a YouTuber, but I don't actually like editing my videos. Like, the only ones I do enjoy editing are the TellTale fights, because I enjoy snipping them together, creating cool compilations. I love doing that. I think it's really fun. But in terms of my sit down, this is why I stream more than just talk. I stream more than recording videos, because I like to just get my thoughts out. I'm a stuttery mess half the time. In fact, not even half the time. Most of the time, I'm a stuttery mess. But I do it because it's what I want to do. Just like the whole course of this channel has been and will continue to be. I had a lot of people a couple of years ago slating me because my videos weren't gaming related. Back when I had the webcam, and I was just recording video footage over pre-recorded gameplay. When I would do this for talking about The Walking Dead versus EastEnders, I did this when talking about several gaming related topics, but because it wasn't me actually playing the game, it was never considered to be gaming videos, which I thought was quite a stupid argument, to be honest, but I never really argued back because I just didn't have the patience. You know, the Let's Plays, I really enjoyed doing them, but truth is, my last 2 Let's Plays that I was doing, which was LA Noire and Batman Arkham Asylum, I was doing those Let's Plays at a time when my mental health was almost at its absolute worst. My mental health was shocking. A lot of the things I did on YouTube during 2020 was literally just for something to do, to avoid having the same routine day in, day out, just something to differentiate my day whilst I was off school for months. That's the whole reason I did those Let's Plays again. You know, I was very sensitive. I still am to some degree, you know, and YouTube's not really a good environment for that. So I kind of took a step back. I've been doing it more recently. Like, I've been making quite a lot of videos recently. In fact, I think I've made more videos over the last, I'd say, about 6 or 7 weeks than I have across all of 2021. Like, all of it. You know, I didn't really make videos in 2021 and 2020 because of the fact that my mental health was just really bad. That's not something I really want to talk about. It's just me personally, but the reason why I'm bringing it up is because it all relates to where the channel is going forward. I don't really want to be looking back. I want to be looking forward. You know, there are a lot of things I want to do over the next couple of years for me. And yes, this channel will see a benefit to it. It will, because content quality will improve. You know, just content itself will improve. I will feel much more happier making the content, and that's simply because of what I want to do for myself. Now, the reason why I decided to kind of scrap a lot of the plans I had, I was going to do throughout the pandemic, is because I have been reevaluating a lot of things, really. Ever since I decided that I was going to make a proper go of life in general, and going to university, and, you know, bettering my academic skills through sixth form, and pursuing the degree to become an actor. Not that you need a degree to become an actor, but, you know, the training. When I really went full tilt, this is what I want to do, I had to make a lot of sacrifices, and one of the biggest sacrifices I made was this channel here. You know, I changed a lot of the content, and, you know, the reason why is because I want to build a positive name for myself, and to be honest, I've kind of lost faith that that's doable through YouTube. My main reason for that is, you know, I consider myself genuinely really lucky to have the platform I have. I used to, when I started this gig 7 years ago, I was a kid. You know, I had these milestones. I wanted to reach, you know, 1 million subs. I wanted to reach, you know, the 100,000, then to the million, then to the 10. No, I wanted to be like, you know, PewDiePie or KSI, or, you know, not that I'd ever get in a boxing ring with anyone. That's just, you know, I wanted to be like PewDiePie or Jacksepticeye or these classic gaming YouTube, like Vanos Gaming, the Sidemen during their early days. You know, I had these ambitions, I had these things I wanted to do, but the truth is, I grew up. I'm not here calling out the current gaming YouTubers who, I'm not saying they haven't grown up, I'm saying that they are different to me. They're all different people within their own rights. I just kind of grew up past the whole making a proper go of YouTube thing. I always knew that YouTube was not the thing I wanted to do full time, even as a kid. You know, I wanted to make a big name for myself just for the fact that I had loads of subscribers. I've been doing this gig for 7 years, 8 years in April, which is mental in itself. And basically, ever since I started it, I knew I didn't want to be a full-time YouTuber. Even as a kid, I knew it wouldn't be a sustainable career for what I personally want to do. I wouldn't feel the benefit in it. My content, I will fully admit, I am so lazy with my content. It's unreal. I'm genuinely not a lazy person, but when it comes to YouTube, I bloody well am lazy. In fact, the only thing I've ever really put effort into on YouTube is the TellTale Fight Scene content. I love those videos. You know, if I had to delete every single video and only keep 200, I'd keep all the TellTale Fight Scene videos. You know, I would genuinely choose the TellTale Fight Scene content over anything I've done, anything else I've done in this channel, because the truth is I just talk about what I want to talk about. You know, this platform really does stuff to people.
Hey guys, what's up?
No, it's not. No, go on.
I have my own YouTube channel.
No, that's not it.
Hi guys, what's up?
Sorry about that. Sorry about that. I don't want to carry on, but I'm going to do it anyway. But yeah, the platform does change people as a whole. I think one thing it seriously does, which is what I don't want to be a part of, is the fact that it suppresses people. You know, they can't really say what they want. There's certain things you shouldn't say. Right, I'm just going to be clear with you now. I used to run my mouth. You know, I deleted a load of videos because I was just cocky. Really, I'd swear in every single sentence. You know, I'll admit, off camera, I swear like a sailor. But there's a time and a place. You know, I'd never do it in a serious situation, in a serious conversation. You know, I rarely slip one out. And the reason for that is because it's just the right thing to do. Like, there's certain times where you shouldn't say certain things just out of common decency. But with general thoughts, I think it's a bit ridiculous when people call you out for just having a certain opinion on something that has no importance to society as a general, as a whole. Like, the people who say that, you know, the people who, for example, take Star Wars The Last Jedi, one of the most hated Star Wars movie in the franchise. Honestly, I don't mind the movie. I don't agree with it all, but at the same time, I'm respectful enough of what other people think. It's just not a place where, you know, this account, well, this account's, you know, oh great, car's on fire. This account in particular, like, you can say what you want, just be respectful. That's just how I roll with not just this account, but just anything. Like, you know, certain things I won't agree with, some things I'll be very passionate about, but I can't manipulate what you think. And, you know, for some reason you get these idiots who just sit there behind, you know, a screen from all over the world who think they can control what you think. But then when you call out their hate comments, they get touchy about it, and then they start saying it's just ridiculous. It is beyond ridiculous. So I don't really entertain. I just don't entertain those kind of people. I never have, and I never will. But with the career path I want to pursue, I haven't really got the platform to say. I can't really defend myself in that kind of career path, because I say one bad thing and they get cancelled, because cancel culture is now taken over the internet, which I think is something, you know, I'm 50-50 on it. I genuinely am. I'm 50-50 on cancel culture, because some things I think you absolutely need to get cancelled for Don't really want to mention this guy's name because he's an idiot, but Andrew Tate. Okay, Andrew Tate, the kickboxer. And his stupid nickname, Top G, whatever you want to call him. I think he's an absolute incel of a human being. I think he's a disgusting man. You know, he's a joke of a human being, and I think that. Oh, okay, that's a good knockout. He's an absolute joke of a human being. But at the same time, you know, people like him need to be taken off the internet. In fact, it baffles me that we still have a lot of the people that we do have online, yet Andrew Tate's the one person that gets taken off. Like, why was there no outrage over the whole Logan Paul incident 5 years ago? Now, don't get me wrong, I'm so proud of Logan for the way he's turned his life around since then. I don't like the guy personally, but I have so much respect for him for the way he buckled his ideas up, and he really did go on a journey to better himself. But why was it that, you know, only one person gets that kind of treatment and not, you know, what about all the other scumbags on the internet? Yeah, I can have one thought that has no relevance to society and all of a sudden I'm cancelled for it. Okay, there are certain opinions out there which I think are not okay. You know, certain topics you don't talk about just for common decency, you know. I'm not one of these people that will run his mouth off about literally anything and fight to make sure that that opinion's heard. There's some topics I avoid talking about just because, well, it's the right thing to do. I'm not going to go talk to somebody about eating disorders. Talk to someone about eating disorders when they have one themselves and they're really struggling with it, unless it's through a supportive you know, intention. I'm not going to start running my mouth off about God knows what to somebody that might be dealing with something similar, you know. And I just think that with this platform, I narrow it down to what I want to talk about. I really do narrow it down. I don't even have, look at that black one there, I don't even have like, well, that's a nice one, like set thing. A lot of the things I talk about are just through what I'm interested in. You know, I've spoken about Walking Dead theories. Recently I've been talking about the MCU a lot. You know, I used to talk about DC a lot, but then I personally think DC went downhill, and out of common interest, I would actually like to talk about DC going downhill and why I think they have, with the whole Warner Brothers HBO thing. But that's my opinion over something that has no importance to society. I avoid talking a lot of politics. Obviously, in my streams, I did call Boris Johnson a name. I don't remember which name it was I called him. But yeah, I avoid talking politics. Personally, I love talking politics to some people because they actually understand it and we can have a genuine human conversation about it. But then you get these people who act like they know everything. Alright, I feel, I'm not going to flex here, but I'm going to give a little bit of context as to why I feel entitled to talk about politics and political views. Now, obviously, one of the things I have spoken about quite a lot, because it has been the common parallel to this channel for 7 years, is my educational life. You know, I started this channel literally months before I started year 7 at Preston High. I've been with this channel for all throughout the 7 years I was at Preston High for. So, you know, you're gonna obviously take interest in certain subjects, and the one subject I took so much interest in besides drama was history. You know, I spent 7 years doing history. It's actually, I've done history longer than I've done drama. It just happens to be that drama is the subject that I take more pride in, and it's the one I want to pursue a career in. History, on the other hand, I've gone over centuries of political history, centuries of social history that coincided with political and economic history. So I have a very good understanding of what it is I'm talking about. I know the difference between left wing and right wing. I know the difference between, Republicans and Democrats, Labour and Conservatives, Liberal Democrats and Conservatives. I know what I'm talking about on that front. So if I do have a conversation about history, you can be damn well sure that I'm actually going to have a very good inclination as to what I'm talking about. Okay, yeah, someone can easily hit me back with the I didn't study at degree level, but I didn't choose the modules I did for A level. The modules were decided before I even started the course, but it was so pushed to do the political side so that we can have better judgment when talking politics. It really annoys me that I cannot have a genuine, sophisticated conversation about British politics, because I'm not going to talk American. I understand the difference between liberals, Republicans and Democrats, but I only ever really did a little bit of American politics in year 10. I'm so much better inclined to talk about British politics, especially with the state of the country we're at the moment. However, I can't, because I state one opinion, even in the nicest possible way, and I'm still cancelled for it. I can't even comfortably say that I'm very left-wing. Like, I'm not an extremist, like, I'm not that, but I would be the kind of person that would, if they were actually good, vote Labour, or a left-wing party that actually stuck to their word and, oh my god. Okay, that's pretty fun. I'm on full health, aren't I? So, oh okay, I'm not, so I could have died just then. There you go. But yeah, I get so tired of listening to all these really stupid arguments about what's appropriate to say and what isn't, when in actual fact we should just be looking at common sense. It's not down to what's right and what's wrong, it's just I don't really even know where this point's going at the moment. Like, with the platform I want to engage with, which is the acting industry, the entertainment industry, I know for a fact that I can't say even easy opinions without having to justify it to the max. I mean, I will admit, there's people I know. They're not bad people, but they are so... I hate the term, but in this context I am going to just use it. They're snowflakes. I don't really carry many brutal and controversial opinions. Alright, I have controversial opinions about fiction, but is that important? When it comes to real life, and I'm not talking, about a job, I'm not talking about a play, or a TV show, or a game, or a movie, or a musical. I'm talking about real life. There's certain opinions out there about real life which I don't know what the problem is. I don't mean it, there's nothing offensive by it. I don't carry any racist, homophobic, sexist views, transphobic, and just general scumbag opinions. I don't carry any of that stuff. I don't think any of that stuff. Racism, homophobia, it disgusts me. It genuinely disgusts me, and people that actually agree with that disgust me even more than racism and homophobia itself, because that's what's holding people back. That's it's because of them that people now get so offended easily, and it's just that whole common, a few people, a lot of people done something wrong, so now we're just going to name everyone that. It sickens me how a lot of people are are just really... They are so small-minded. It's actually funny. And now obviously before I admitted that in some areas I'm quite small-minded. Now, I'm small-minded when it comes to things about me personally. You know, making important decisions. I used to be very small-minded over. Obviously, the decisions I've made ended up being the right decision, but sometimes not much thought would go into it. Things worked out the way they have. I think they've worked out well, but when it comes to real life, I'm a very open-minded person. You know, if someone has a certain view that they feel like they want to share, I'm all for it. I'll listen to them. I can't, you know... Sorry, I've just had a comment come through on... you know what, we'll just make it easier. Comments. Oh, hello. Alright, Liz. It's great to see you. Let's try and get these comments back up because I want to... There you go. Hiya, Liz. Yeah, I'm just having a good old-fashioned ramble because, you know, things are changing, so I just want to kind of spew it all out there because this is what I do. Me don't... Oh, tell them all I said hi. Tell them all I said hi. I've been thinking about you all a lot. Yeah, it's a weird... it's such a weird, like, time for everyone, and I think it's important to just be honest with yourself, which is why I've been saying all the stuff I've been saying here about, like, in my thoughts on and like this platform in particular. YouTube used to be such a fun and entertaining environment, but for years it's just gone on a massive I do this for me and personally no one else. I was gonna do the acting based stuff for me, and I still kind of want to. However, I just think that this is a platform where, because I don't want to take it professionally, I don't want to mix my professional life with it. You know, I've been talking about my views on stuff that has no relevance to society for years. Like, I've been doing this since I was 11, and now as an adult I'm kind of at a crosshair because, you know, for all intents and purposes, like, a lot of the things that I have spoken about, if things worked out, could be something that I would end up working on professionally, which would then change the landscape again of my content. So I wouldn't want to really mix that in. Like, for example, this is a hot take. This is a take so hot it could set fire to... It could blow up a volcano. Like, this car's on fire now. It's hotter than a burning car. Oh, hey, Rick. I would love to be in the Harry Potter and the Cursed Child production, simply because that play is so, like, visually stunning. Oh, this guy wants to scrap. Hang on a minute. There you go. Like, I don't know. There's something about that play. The storyline, not the hot, but yeah, exactly. You get it. You get it. Like, the storyline of the Harry Potter play, I think, is stupid. Like, it's just genuinely stupid. I think it was such a stupid idea, but the concept and the actual, like, way is that oh, it is. Yeah, I don't know why I'd love to be in that play so much. I just really enjoy it. You know, but at the same time that becomes different because it kind of mixes my personal interest with professional work, and yeah, I don't know. It's just this YouTube, this website is certainly not a place for well, it's not really a place for creativity anymore. It's really not. It used to be, but it's really not anymore. Like, a lot of the things I've... Oh my god. Oh, I haven't put on burning bullets, haven't I? Oh, have I? I have. Oh, I have. I didn't realise I did that. Yeah, I did. Yeah, it's just so, like, it's just a shame that this platform's become so... just so weak. Like, the content is not as good as... Most of the stuff I watch on YouTube is simply... it's just like movie clips and stuff that isn't actually... Now, technically, I know that's not... what is it? Oops. That doesn't help, really, watching stuff that isn't supposed to be on YouTube, because it's, you know, it's either clips from a Marvel movie or a Star Wars TV show or God knows what. But at the same time, I just genuinely enjoy it more than... I just enjoy it more than the crap you see online now. Like, there are still some YouTubers I kind of still get enjoyment out of, but it's not really in a way that... Oh, this car's still not going out. It's not in a way that actually makes me feel happy about the way the platform's go. Oh, this car got the dragnet. There we go. You know, it's just the way I feel about this platform. Because I'm a very, like, open... I'm an easygoing person to talk to, like, about anything. Even if I don't understand it, I'll still listen. In fact, sometimes I think you just need someone that's going to listen and not talk at you. Because sometimes it can be hard to open up, and you just need somebody to just sit there, listen, not pass any judgment, just listen to what the issue is, and when it's an appropriate time to talk, just reassure, okay, now I'm here, I might as well make the money, you know. I am doing this because I love doing that. I don't know why. Yeah, it's a shame that the platform doesn't really encourage that. Just people just sit and listen and not actually, you know, relentlessly... I get that the comment section is the whole point of the comment section is to judge. But at the same time, I think there's times where just watching the video is better than just commenting. I only comment stuff that I truly think, and most of it, like, in fact, near enough everything I comment is just my opinions and hopes for certain projects that are in the work from big creators like Marvel Productions or TV show theory, you know. There's only rare occasions where I actually comment a lot about real life. The last thing I remember commenting about real life was the whole promoting a KSI versus Andrew Tate fight. The reason why I commented that was just because I was that annoyed over the fact that so many people wanted to see Andrew Tate actually have a platform to show presence and relevance on again. Like, I don't care if it will be a good fight. I don't care if I want to see KSI smack him left, right, and centre. I just don't like that. I just don't like Andrew Tate, and there's a lot of people that will agree with me on that. He's a scumbag. You know, there's a reason that Daz Black's video blew up, and that guy got banned off social media, and not just one platform, all of them. Yes, he's going to come back. Yes, he's going to make a new account and pop back up again, but the fact that we actually got that idiot, that absolute wrong'un, taken off social media is just fantastic. The impact that we did to support women's rights, to support you know, a change in masculine perception, a change in what it takes to be a real man, and, you know, getting rid of this top G BS. I was so proud that we actually made that difference. Like, he should be taken off, but it's the fact that still so many people on the internet want to see him back. They want to see Andrew Tate come back. They want to see, and these are the same. These people genuinely worry me, and that's why I don't want to be affiliated with a platform that's just going to hold back society. I think the only reason that we still have, you know, social unrest, civil disputes, I think the only reason we still have that is because of social media. Now, I'm a hypocrite here because I'm currently live streaming on social media about my views and stuff, but at the same time, if it comes to someone that completely disagrees with me, I'm still going to be respectful of what they think, and I'm still going to listen to their end of the conversation, because that's the thing that a lot of people forget, is that social media it should be designed to inflict, or, you know, promote conversation about life, whether it be what's real, whether it be what's fake. You know, instead social media has practically tried to infiltrate the Hollywood industry for some reasons are really good. Like, there's genuine creators out there which I think are fantastic storytellers and use YouTube in such an innovative and just brilliant way. For example, I'm a name a YouTube, well, an old fan favourite of mine, McJuggernuggets, Jesse Ridgway. I loved his Psycho series. I also watched his My Virtual Escape series in the summer. I thought that was genius. I loved it. But that's one of the few examples where I think YouTube is actually used in the right way for something fake. Because in my eyes, it's not fake, it's a story. And, you know, if someone starts to you know, point out, oh yeah, you can't really like that because it's not real. Well, guess what? There's a reason people say don't believe what you see online, and that's simply because what you see on the internet, just 9 times out of 10 isn't real. You know, one of the things I'm dreading if I do take off as an actor, which I really want to, the only thing I'm absolutely dreading is the fact that if I say one thing, an entire article is going to get written about it. If I say one thing about an opinion, an article is going to get read about it. What about the days when people would report good stuff? Like, why hasn't more news outlets reported positive things on, or done on YouTube, than negative? Like, what about the times that YouTubers are given so much to charity, or that we've had YouTubers advocate for very serious topics and advocate for the people who have survived those serious topics? And, you know, why hasn't that been put on? Like, why hasn't that been promoted? Like, it's always the bad stuff. It's always the bad stuff. That's why I don't like to watch the news. I don't like to, you know, I look at all these apology videos, and sometimes I genuinely find them quite embarrassing. Now, there's some apology videos where I'm like, okay, fair play, but it's just the circumstances that led to that apology being done in the first place. I'm like, are you really sorry? Or are you just trying to, you know, there are apology videos that still get mocked to this day. And sometimes I think, well, alright, yeah, maybe they shouldn't be mocked, but can you really blame them for being mocked? You know, can you really fault somebody for thinking that's embarrassing? And no, it's not. It's not an excuse to take the mick out of him. But at the same time, that apology video for whatever they're apologising for shouldn't had to have been done in the first place, because there's certain things on YouTube there's certain excuses on YouTube which make no sense. Which is why I just want to treat this platform as a hobby, and I don't really promote the idea of this. If someone wants to do YouTube as a full-time job, then I say fair play to them. Fair play to them, because they know they want it, and therefore, if they want it, they should go for it. I will be honest and say I would never do it, but it's not really what I think that matters. If someone wants to do it, then they should. I wouldn't try and argue with them and convince them not to do it, but at the same time, there will be some things I probably just wouldn't say out of respect for their ambition. I wouldn't ever want to put someone down. However, there's certain things that I hope that people are looking into before making that kind of judgment, because God forbid that somebody doesn't and ends up making a really bad mistake and ends up losing their platform for good, like Andrew Tate has, like the people that should have. For example, the amount of times where certain YouTubers have been credited for the most disgusting and outrageous things, yet they're still on the platform, is beyond me. And these are full-time YouTubers we're talking about. These are the people that are representing the face of the platform, you know. And it's like, well, are they? What's the protocol for that? What is the protocol? Because obviously, going back to Andrew Tate, I don't like him. He was never a full-time YouTuber, so can they afford to remove YouTube? For example, YouTubers like me. I'm a very small platform. I'm proud of the amount of subs I've got. I love my little corner of the internet, but I'm just one guy who does it for a bit of fun. I don't represent the platform. I don't represent YouTube. I don't really promote it. I don't really do anything. I just do it because I've got a view on a certain thing. I want to talk about it. I want to talk about my favorite video games, very favorite games related to whatever's going on, whether it be a new Marvel production or sometimes I'll make a video and not even upload it because I just don't think it's worth going up, which is why I stream more, actually, because then when it's up, it stays up, and then that way I'm kind of inspired more. Okay, I'm getting bored of blowing everything up. I just think so differently about this, about the, not just YouTube, but just the internet. Like, I used to post fairly regularly on Instagram, and used to be quite engulfed in that atmosphere. But now I just don't care. Like, I don't really care enough to promote those views. I just, like, the only social media platforms I genuinely use are the ones that I use to talk to my friends. That's literally it. I don't consider myself to be an influencer or anything. That's a fairly new term, actually. From what I've perceived, I don't consider myself as an influencer. If I was to achieve my dream as becoming an actor, I would take that responsibility of making sure that any good message I have to bring, and I do have some very good messages out there for people, but I would personally, I say that as I rob someone's car. I don't conceive myself as an influencer, but if I do have a platform to spread positivity, you can be sure that I'll do it. I just don't want to do it on this platform here, because people will not take you seriously. People will not. YouTube's just become so toxic, and so many people say that, and I genuinely think that the world would be so much better if we had this mentality of like just doing it for what you want, instead of trying to constantly please people. I look at Deji and his recent fight with FuziTube, and I was so shocked and impressed that he won. Like, he genuinely fought amazingly. And then if you go back to his past fights where he kept losing, he was always like, oh yeah, do you guys want me to fight again? And then his brother KSI made a really good point in his, after he lost to was it Vinny Hakara? I think it was Alex Wasabi. And KSI was like, why are you doing it for other people? And that's what I think is wrong. I think that's the worst thing about this platform, that people are just instantly now people pleasers. Like most content creators are like, alright, yeah, I offer suggestions on what people would like to see me do on the channel, but that's different because I'm open to ideas. I don't let people dictate how I run my page. I don't let people dictate how I say what I think. I don't believe in that. I just don't. A lot of the videos I make are actually just spontaneous thoughts. Some are fairly recent reactions, live reactions. For example, when I got back from Comic Con, I never went to Comic Con. Sorry, when I got back from my holiday and watched Comic Con whilst I was on holiday, that's when I started talking about, you know, Rick Grimes coming back to The Walking Dead, or Marvel Studios Phase 5 and 6, just reactions to stuff that I wanted to talk about, theories that I wanted to share, and stuff that I just want to talk about out of my own personal interest. I don't really, in the nicest and most respectful way of putting this across, because I know some people will probably raise an eyebrow when I say it, you know, but I don't really care what people are like telling me what I should be posting. I don't really care about that. I like suggestions because it gives me more of an insight to try out different content and see if I like it. And if people here, you know, I'm quite confident that if I was to just go become a full-time Telltale Games YouTuber and cover The Wolf Among Us Season 2, or cover The Expanse, and, you know, just put out my theories for Batman Season 3 or whatever Telltale game that comes, I'm quite confident that the people that most of my audience now would probably stick around for that, because most of my subscriber growth has come from my TellTale Fight Scenes series, all 200 videos I've made, plus all my thoughts and my theories for Telltale based productions. I'm quite confident that if I was to just ditch the live commentary, ditch the you know, talking about the Walking Dead TV show or Marvel or anything that isn't DC Telltale related, or whatever it may be, you know, whether it was Riverdale, you know, Only Murders in the Building, Under the Banner of Heaven, if I was to stop talking about that and just strictly go on to Telltale, I feel confident that at least most of my subscribers would stay. I might lose a few hundred, but at the same time, I feel like most of them would stick around because that's where they came from. And personally, I wouldn't mind that. I'd get bored. I think I would get bored of just constantly talking about the same thing, constantly posting the same clips. That's why I've knocked a lot of clips on the head. For example, a lot of the Telltale Fight Scenes and the compilations, I've just stopped using a lot of clips because I was kind of getting bored. You know, a lot of the inspiration I've had for the TellTale Fight Scenes series came through EastEnders fight scenes that are posted online, EastEnders fight compilations, whether it be a punch or a slap or, you know, a short scuffle here and there. A lot of that inspired my idea for TellTale Fight Scenes, so that's why I did it. But at the same time, you know, I get bored of seeing the same EastEnders punches in the same compilations. Like, I get bored of seeing Phil punches Phil Mitchell punching Sean Slater, and even my favourite character, Mick Carter. I get bored of seeing the same Mick punches in the compilations. Like, you know, we've had so many good ones, and we keep getting the same ones. It's like, guys, he's had so many fights in EastEnders. Why are we using the same ones? You know, I just think that with this channel, I'm not going to keep doing the same stuff. I just get bored of it. And the truth is, I don't actually want to stop doing YouTube videos. Like I said early on in the stream, I've grown up with this channel. Don't get me wrong, the thought has crossed my mind of privating a load of the videos I did when I was younger, just because I was little, and I want to protect the childhood innocence I had there. I would like to protect that, stop some absolute arsehole ruining that with disgusting memes and stuff like that. Kind of like what you see on the Callum's Corner videos. You know, I quite, you know, even though the guy, in my opinion, I don't agree with a lot of him, but I do genuinely like him as a person. Callum Adams, well, he was known as Tic Tac Head during 2016, because obviously his head looks cylindrical, so people called him Tic Tac Head. And I just look at his videos and I think, you are a genuine human being. I don't agree with a lot of your comments, but I think you're a nice guy. I genuinely think you're a decent bloke. So when people just constantly just rinse him and take every single thing he says and creates a disgusting sentence out of it, sometimes it can be really funny. Like, sometimes the YTPs I think can be absolutely hilarious, but there's other times where I just think it's absolutely disgusting. Like, it's not, you know. And I'm so worried of someone taking the videos I did when I was little and, you know, just doing that. And I got family as well. That's why I never had any other faces in my videos. In fact, I think I only ever have, like, once, maybe twice, when I was really younger, as a teenager. Maybe, I don't really know. But the truth is, the thought of my words being twisted, just it doesn't sit right with me, and I feel like that is going to happen one way or another on the internet, and then my career will be in jeopardy for it. And I just don't agree with it. I don't like it. You know, no one should ever have to live like that. Am I being shot at? I think I am. You know, it's one of those things. That's why there probably will come a time where I pack YouTube in on a long-term scale, but I don't completely quit it for good. I don't ever want to full-on quit YouTube. Like, the thought crossed my mind a couple of years ago, and the truth was, I decided to knock it on the head for the fact that I just wasn't happy with it. The moment I start to feel really unhappy as a YouTuber is probably when I will look at packing it in. But I don't think that would ever be on a long-term, like a permanent basis. I think I'd just stop posting for a couple of months, like I have done here and there. You know, I think that was the longest I've ever gone without making a video. I think was about maybe 3 or 4 or even 5 months, somewhere around that mark. I didn't make a video for on a few occasions, and that's just because I wasn't happy with it. I mean, at the time I wasn't happy in general. So why would I devote my mental health to social media when I could be devoting it to myself and making sure it's as good as it can be? You know, I don't know. I think the whole influencer thing's gotten out of hand. Every time I go on Instagram or something like that, I'm only looking at things I genuinely care about, and that's mostly, you know, Marvel related posts or, you know, Star Wars related posts. I don't ever care about the whole designer scene or the modelling scene. It's not my thing, and I respect it if it is your thing, but at the same time, I just think it's a bit silly, really, when people get so obsessive over stuff like social media. Like, I just don't really get it. I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't consider myself an influencer. If I have a good message to spread, I will do it, but preferably I don't want to do it on this platform. You know, I've made a lot of videos talking about education, and most of them, if not all of them, I bring it back to the people my age and the people younger than me in education, because I have a good message to spread. I have a good message to give. That, you know, is the kind of thing I want to do. I'm just not really confident I should do it here anymore on YouTube, because people who have no idea about life pipe up. And I'm not even talking about younger people. I'm talking about older people as well. The people that look down on Generation Z or the millennials. People look down on us because of jealousy. You know, that's just me being brutally honest. I think a lot of older people, not all, but a lot of older people, are just jealous because of the resources we've had access to and the knowledge we've had available to us over our upbringing. I think there's a lot of bitterness and I'm so sick of listening to people complain about young people. I'm so sick of listening to older, stuck-up people bad-mouthing millennials and Generation Z. Don't get me wrong, there are a lot of millennials and people of Generation Z that are absolute arseholes. Like, that's just a genuine fact. You get them everywhere. But you get the people who are so stuck up, so funny. They call us self-entitled, yet they are the most entitled idiots I've ever met. Like, they constantly look down. The amount of, like, times, whether I'm at work or, you know, I'm with my friends, and we have people look at us because we're young and having fun, and they just give us a horrible look, disgusts me. It's happened on so many occasions, and it's simply because of the fact that they can't handle young people having a good time with the things they have access to. And, like, this is the thing, we have to work. We're going to have to work so much harder to clean up the mess that that those people have left. I said this in my pre-A-level stream. I said that we are going to be, my year group, my generation, and the generations to come are going to be the ones who are picking up after the messes of Boris Johnson, Donald Trump, whoever else you want to name. You name them. You know, like, we're going to be the ones picking up the pieces, trying to rebuild so that, you know, the next generation have a better chance of growing up in a better environment. I'll never say a perfect one, because I don't think we can get a perfect one at this point. I think social media has damaged it enough. I think it's just been absolutely tarnished to pieces. I'm so confident that social media is just, it's just gone downhill. It really has gone downhill. It's not even worth joking about. Like it's what goes for one doesn't go for another kind of policy here on social media. One person can say something wrong and everyone's like fine with it, but the second another one does that has less views, less subscribers, that's when they're absolute scum of the earth. Like it's literally now it's been 2 years since I left, or nearly 2.5 years since I left high school. The reason why I bring that up is because it's only 2.5 years ago I left the whole popularity brigade. I was never considered to be the popular kid. I was always the kid that people respected because I stayed out of their way and they stayed out of mine kind of policy. You know, I was the one that, even though I wasn't popular, I got on with the popular kids because I was never looking for attention in an idiotic way like they did. Like, being truthful, they constantly look for attention, and I just kind of stayed out of my way and they stayed out of their way, and we were cool with it. We had an unspoken pact. The internet has very much kind of adopted that persona, in my opinion. In my respectful opinion of anyone else's, I think the internet has adopted that popularity persona. You know, you get all the, the second a YouTuber reaches, let's give a rough estimate, about, well, let's go for 1 million subs. Go for 1 million subs. The second a YouTuber reaches that, that's when they're considered to be, you know, doing good for themselves, or whatever ridiculous term you want to use, because people use stupid, you know, whether it be clout or, you know, dubbing or whatever you want to call it. The second a YouTuber is actually doing alright with themselves numbers wise, that's when they're considered to be, you know, popular. One of the cool kids, for example, will use that mentality. We'll use that that metaphor because I think it does work quite appropriately with the point I'm getting at. The second that a YouTuber is considered to be popular, that's when they're kind of untouchable in a way. You know, there's been plenty of times where people like the Sidemen or the Paul brothers should have been banned. Like, I'm not being horrible here. Like, there are times where some of them should have been banned for things they've said because of how outrageous they are, but they're not. But the second somebody else who has less subscribers says something of the same sorts, they're instantly scum of the earth. Like, where does that work out? Andrew Tate, again, I'm going back to him because he's a very good example of the one time where they got it right. But at the same time, they haven't got it right because he's not a full-time YouTuber. The second, like, with full-time YouTubers, you know, a small one is saying something that might not even be that offensive. Like, let's be real. Sometimes I think people get a little bit carried away with what they seem as offensive or not. You know, I think there's a fine line between what is and isn't offensive, but that's just my personal take. And I completely respect that others will have their own boundaries and what they see as offensive or not. And to be honest, I respect that more based on the fact that they have self-awareness of what they will tolerate and not tolerate. That's my personal view on what is offensive and what isn't offensive. But at the same time, there's also things where I just don't see what the problem is. You know, sometimes as well, like I don't really like stereotypes that much, but I think some are just generally quite funny, and it happens to be coincidence that I've met a lot of people that kind of fit in with this stereotype. No, not everyone will, But I'm gonna take the stereotype about homosexuals and being funny, and I find it really ironic that I've met a lot of gay people that are just really funny and lovely people, and they're funny with it. Like, they are funny, just comedic about their sexuality. They use it as something good. And the thing is, the fact that's a stereotype, and I've coincidentally happened to meet a lot of really nice and funny gay people. Like, I find that brilliant, but I feel like if I'm going to talk about that, then someone's going to take offence to it. Like, I don't know how, but they will. Or maybe they don't even actually they don't actually find it offensive themselves. They're just looking for an excuse to cause an argument. Because I think that's what everything comes down to on social media. Causing drama. Like, exposed videos, they've become even bigger than primetime TV. You know, in terms of views, in terms of likes and shares, and whatever you want to affiliate with. Exposing videos and, you know, hour-long, 45-minute sit-down, this person said this, so I'm going to say that kind of video. Literally, teenage drama has polluted this platform, and I don't want to be associated with that. I really don't. I had so many plans to, you know, put on my acting face and start putting up really good acting performances on this platform. I was so ready to do that, but in the end I decided not to, because I don't want somebody watching a really good piece of work just to then ignore it and then go watch a really petty feud. Like, there are so many YouTubers that I think are just so stupid in terms of causing unnecessary drama. Like, their life revolves around it. It's so sad. And, you know, I left high school 2.5 years ago, as I mentioned before. So the fact I see nearly 7 years worth of drama, not good drama, like 7 years worth of petty feuding on the internet as well, except the internet is much more, you know, publicated. It's just so much more toxic online, because you get people behind the screen just commenting stuff that they don't even really understand, and it just annoys me. It really does annoy me. So I guess after that hour-long ramble about this channel personally, university is going to be a very different direction for it. You know, I have ambition of taking the channel somewhere where it's never really been before in terms of content, in terms of, you know, don't expect vlogging, for God's sake. Please do not expect vlogging. Now, I do not want to disappoint anyone by making them think I'm going to vlog, because that's not happening. But in terms of just what I discuss and what I put out there, it is going to be a bit different, I guarantee, because, you know, it's a huge change in my life. It's a huge change in my family's life. You know, it's me living independently for the first time, and I want to make stuff that's going to be, you know, worth looking back on. You know, I would like to do things which I've not done here, and maybe I should have done before going to uni, but I never had the motivation to do it. But when I'll be living independently, you know, I want to try and stop relying on motivation and start relying on discipline more. You know, I watched the short with Mike Tyson the other day, and it was so empowering. Basically, he just kind of discredited motivation and work based on discipline, because even when you're not motivated, if you're disciplined, you'll achieve more. And that's the kind of mentality I want to take with me to go to university. I want to put more, you know, me kind of videos out there. You know, I want to talk about a performance that I am working on, or God knows what. I want to put that out there instead of just constantly going over the same stuff. You'll still see the classic videos I've been doing. Like, you'll still see it. Like, I'm not gonna stop making videos based on Telltale or whatever Marvel production is being worked on, or theory videos I may have. You won't not get that, because I enjoy doing it. But at the same time, if I am going on this experience through uni and I'm taking this channel with me, then I want to start converging the experience with this channel more. Because I used to not like talking about my A levels, simply because of the fact that at the same time as my A levels, I was battling some really tough mental health problems. Like, so to kind of converge everything felt like just bringing up everything. I just didn't like doing it, and one day I probably will do a full-on sit-down, this is my story kind of video, because I want people to see the real me and not just a character. You know, I want to leave the characters to the work, the work I want to do, not not just always play a character. I think that'll just get exhausting. You know, I feel like most people you see on the internet are just playing a character, and not a very good one. And that's not me being disrespectful of their content. It's me being truthful about their intentions. I don't think they want you to see the real them, which is understandable to some degree, but very misleading and dangerous to some others. You know, I think a lot of content creators out there are just they're too fake. And I know that's ironic, but because with YouTube you don't actually have to specify what's real and what's fake. You don't actually have to do that. Everyone just kind of sees whatever as, you know, it's so dangerous because there's no disclaimers. You know, when you watch a really serious TV show, there's sometimes disclaimers. This topic covers, you know, God knows what that may be considered to be, you know, triggering or you know, at the end of any production you see, there's always an opening title sequence. There's always a credit sequence that, you know, informs the audience who is the sole creator of that project. Whether you go see, when you go see a theatrical production, there's always the bow sequence at the end of every show, as well as crediting the directors, the lighters, the lighting team, the sound team, the backstage crew. There's always, in fiction, there's always credits of the people behind the work. There isn't that with YouTube unless it's a deliberate story to be told. You know, I just think it's kind of, it's becoming dangerous in how fake the platform really is. Now, I did actually mention a name earlier, Jesse Ridgway, the creator of the Psycho series and My Virtual Escape. He did exactly that. He didn't credit, but he told a story and then he announced it was fake at the end, or he announced that it was a story. You know, that's where I kind of see, okay, well, at least he did in the end. You know, there's probably some people now who still think that the Psycho videos are real, or that the Devil Inside videos are real, but they're still watching their way through, so then they realise it's fake. My Virtual Escape, I think, is the only proper series he's done that is credited as fake from the get-go, from the way it's filmed, the way it's acted, the fact that he's, you know, playing a different character altogether. Well, technically Psycho Kid was a separate character, but his name was still the same as his real one, because at the time it was all part of it, undertaken as a social experiment to see if people thought it was real or fake. And most people bought it. I bought it. I was actually really annoyed when I found out it was fake, because I was that naive at the time. I didn't understand, but now I do. Now I think it's genius what he did, and he's an amazing creator for that. But at the same time, there's so many content creators out there that just constantly drive after fake content to you know, clickbait is such a... I hate clickbait. I don't clickbait personally. I don't. I think I am very honest with the way I title my videos, simply because, you know, what am I to gain? You know, yeah, I could gain a few views, but I could also make myself look like an idiot by having a really stupid title, you know, and a really inappropriate thumbnail or God knows what. I don't know. I don't like clickbaiting. I don't. I probably have done it in the past. I've made over 1,000 videos at this point, so can't really say I've never done it. I probably have, I just don't remember it, and to be honest, I don't really care enough to remember. I wouldn't do it now. I won't do it in the future. So if I have done it before, then that's because I was still growing up, which a lot of people on this platform haven't. Yeah. Anyway, that has been an hour and 16 minutes worth of me kicking off, worth of me just having a ramble. I think I've said everything I wanted to say. This has been, actually, I'm going to be honest, this has been one of the best streams that I've done in a while, just out of my own personal confidence in what I've spoken about, because I've been really brutally honest as well. Like, I've been completely respectful of opinions, and I always will be. Glad me mates popped in as well. That means everything. If you guys are still here, then I love you to pieces. God, I was about to go on fire again. But yeah, I'm so grateful that people tune in and just listen to what I think. You know, personally, if I had the chance, I'd start a podcast. I just love talking about stuff that I think needs to be spoken about, and plus stuff that I think should be spoken about for entertainment value. I'm very passionate about it. I'm very passionate about storytelling, but I'm also very passionate about getting down into the nitty-gritty. I think there's a lot of things that need to be addressed as well. Oh. There's a lot of things that I think need to be spoken about as well as should be. You know, oh, that's kind of the same thing I just said. You know, avoiding heavy topics is only something I do on this website, because I don't think so. I don't think a lot of people can handle the truth, and that's why I feel like some things are just best left unsaid, because people genuinely can't hack it. And you know, it's not really a fault of their own. It's just annoying when you have to constantly restrict yourself because you know, you're trying to protect your own name and your own livelihood simply by just filter. Like, everything's so filtered now. So, you know, the channel's still going to be around as a university student. The landscape is going to change a lot. The content is going to, you know, evolve, and I think there'll be a point where I just start to be really discombobulated with my personal career, just because I want to protect my own privacy as an actor. Like, you'll see me when I'm working on whatever it is I'm working on, and you'll see me here as well, and they'll be two completely separate entities. But I'm going to start closing off this stream. Thank you to the people that have popped in. Thank you to the two brilliant people who are here right now. Thank you for just, you know, being here as I've been doing this for 7 odd years. And, you know, this will be my last one in my hometown of 18 years, because the next time I do one of these, I'm hoping to be settling in my new flat, and I'll probably do a brief tour of what the flat will look like as well, just because those I think are interesting videos, and I personally like to share how I customize it and how I make it my own. And yeah, that's it really. Thank you so much for everything, and I'll see you again soon.